everyone, to the Big Divide. I am your host, DEVIdE, and the purpose of this podcast is to get with men and women on a weekly basis to discuss the pros and cons of dating in your 30s and 40s. So tune in every week on YouTube at The Big Divide. That's DEVIDE. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Big Divide. I am your host, DEVIdE, and I am here with two lovely ladies who today we're going to start another conversation about the pros and cons of dating here in Atlanta. So, ladies, before I introduce you both, every episode I have a gift for my ladies who come on the show, and you both get a rose from me. So this is my gift to you, Trinity.
Thank you.
And Nicole, my gift to you, for you all for taking the time out and coming, joining me and having a conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're welcome here. So for you, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you came back again.
Yes.
And we had a good time last time. I actually want to thank you because your participation was so phenomenal last time. And I know we talked offline, and you may not think so highly of it, but it was actually a good clip. And people gave it a good response. Everyone ate to it, said good things about it. So, but, you know, she feels a little bit different about it. I know you do, right? You feel a little bit different about it?
Yeah, we good.
So it's, she didn't say this, but I'm saying this. She's saying this, she wants to get a little bit get back, a little redemption, even though it's nothing to redeem herself for. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say welcome back. Glad to have you back again.
Glad to be back.
And Miss Trinity, this is your first time with us, right?
It is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
First time.
Well, welcome. Glad that
Thank
you're
you.
here.
Thank you.
And I hope your aunt sees this
Me too.
because she was supposed to come and be here with you.
She was, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But she was coming to make sure that you was gonna be safe and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then,
Even though when I'm with her, I'm the bodyguard, but it's still like she's just my support.
Okay. Well, shout out to your aunt. We still appreciate her for her willingness to come, but just not being able to get here. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get right into it, and we're gonna start with the questions. Right. So normally I'll start off and I do questions for you ladies. Okay. I'm gonna still do that, but I want to kind of give you all a little heads up. Normally I don't. Ladies come on, I just go right into it because I want real raw responses and stuff like that, right? I pride myself in this podcast being like real true. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start with you, Trinity, but before I start with you and start with the question, I want to say to you, thank you, because when we connected online, right, and I want you to shout out your Instagram here when it's done, but. When I connected with you via Instagram, I was sitting at 99 subscribers. Yeah. Right? We just launched this podcast and I'm sitting at 99 subscribers. And I was telling the team, I was like, we get to 100, man. We got to get to 100. We got to get to 100 and we're going to celebrate. Connected with you. You agreed to come on to the show, right? And when you went to my page to check it out to make sure I was legit, right? You did what?
I subscribed.
And because of that, you became my 100th subscriber. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad I was on Instagram 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it was pretty late.
Yeah.
It was pretty late. So for that, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on record because I forgot your gift. I have a gift for you. I had a special gift for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on camera and let everyone know that I have a $100 gift card for Trinity, especially for her, for being my 100th subscriber.
Hold him to it. Remind him.
Yes, we're going and I want you to make sure you put on your Instagram whether I gave it to you or not.
Okay. I got you.
So if y'all want to come on and be on the Big Divide, you're watching this. First of all, I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, and share this video with everyone that you know. Support the channel. I truly appreciate it. I thank you all in advance. And so with that, Trinity, you being that person, we're going to make sure that you get that $100 gift. Go right.
Oh,
all right. So people coming on, my goal now is to get to 500. So
Did it.
I ain't doing no $500 gifts.
You
Up
pushing
the
it out.
ante, up the ante.
Up there,
Push.
ain't it? Well, we'll see. I'm saying no, but that's just me. My team may have something different. So,
never know.
okay. So Trinity, let me ask you the question. So here's my: are you dating? Are you currently dating?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Is involved with someone now, or you're just in the dating scene?
I'm dating, as in like, yeah, in the dating scene.
Okay. So, and what's kind of like your experience dating here? What's the pros and the cons of dating here in Atlanta?
Well, when I first moved to Atlanta, I was in like a little 2.5-year relationship.
Okay.
And then, so I was really new. I'm only 22. So I was really new to the dating scene. But so it's like I didn't know what to really look for necessarily. So there's a lot of stuff that I was accepting, tolerating. And then after a while, kind of really now this year, understanding like you determine your dating scene, you know, understanding like, okay, so it's up to me. Like it's the presence, like men know when you know yourself, they know when you don't know yourself. And so when you're someone like, when you're insecure, they can sense it. It's like a spirit that they can sense. So when I finally changed that like spirit of desperation and loneliness and feeling like I need someone around, like, and finally just got a spirit of like joy and I love being by myself, that's when my picker got better.
Your picker got better.
My picker. And
Wow.
like when I say picker, I mean the men that I'm picking to entertain.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't even correct that because we do the picking.
Yes, but you can attract anything. You can dress professional and still attract, you know, a home persona style. You know, like you can get hollered at regardless. So I was always taught
Yeah.
like it's not what you attract, it's what you choose to entertain. So
Absolutely.
it's like when I started entertaining better, dating got way better in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and I like that because you do understand that men, we do pick the women.
Oh yeah.
But what I like about what you said though is it's about who you accept.
Mm-hmm.
Because I say this to women, like women say, "Oh, this is the type of man I want, this and this and all that." It's fine for y'all to have what you want, but understand you don't do the picking. You all don't do the picking.
I mean,
Okay.
it's like, okay, so if we're talking approach, like, you know, yeah, of course, if we're expecting you guys to approach, yes, you guys will do the picking.
But ultimately, I would say that you ultimately, every individual ultimately chooses who they
The
are
other
going
person,
to date.
yeah.
Like, there can be plenty of men that are going to like you, be attracted to you, want to date you, but you're going to determine. I mean, I don't feel like your experience probably hasn't been like every guy cuts you off, right? There's been
Yeah.
guys that you're like, I don't want to
That I
deal
have
with
to-
you.
yeah.
So I think we're all kind of picking.
No, everyone can't be picking. Like you have to have someone who picks and someone who accepts. So what I'm simply saying is, men, we do the picking. Ladies, y'all do the accepting. You either accept this man that's trying to pick you or you don't.
You don't think we choose each other? Like,
No.
doesn't a woman have to choose you?
So you can say I choose you, but in a sense, what you're saying, you choose that man, you're accepting him saying, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you.
I mean, so if you're thinking, so it's not for me, right? But let's talk modern times, even when it comes to marriage. I mean, sometimes women are even proposing to men sometimes.
Which
Like-
is
Like I
absurd.
said, it's not me. I'm going to mop the ocean with a Q-tip before
I will
ever.
scratch my
But-
head on the concrete before I do it.
But I'm just, I mean, it's a different day and age. You know, I think that historically that was always the dynamic. But I think from that angle, it's a different day and age. But also, women are not necessarily accepting or taking everyone who wants to pick them.
And how is that working out for y'all? How is that working out for y'all? Is it working out very well? Come on, be honest. Is that working out very well for you ladies? With that type, I know that's not your type of thinking. I know what you're saying, so I'm not blaming it on you. But in general, how is that working out for y'all ladies?
In terms of what, like being more selective about who we want to join
in terms
lives
of
with?
in terms of, are you getting the man that you want to be with, and are you getting married?
Well, if you're talking about marriage, men picking, okay, yes.
Yeah, I think when it comes to marriage, the man is going to have to want to marry.
Yeah.
us,
I don't know
right?
why y'all making this difficult. The man picks you from the man picks
it's not a black or white. That's
the problem. It is very black and white.
I mean, but it's not, because there's different. That's another thing about dating. We make dating seem like it's black or white. We like, especially now with different podcasts and all these different gurus, relationship gurus, they're training singles as if there's either a yay or a nay, as if everyone is the same in dating. The circumstances might change. Like it's different with everybody. Everyone's different, like, especially when they try to teach women like, your man is supposed to have this, and this. Like, what if the man I'm supposed to be with, what if he doesn't have some of those things? Like, it's not a black or white. It's different circumstances. We're all different people. It would have been different if we were the same person.
So, Trinity, I agree with you in that. But at that point, we're in the thick of things. We're in the weeds. But I'm talking about from the initial start. A man sees you. He says, wow, Trinity, you're a very attractive woman. Mm-hmm. In his head, whether he verbalizes that to you, in his head, he's like, I like this woman. I'm going to see if she is interested in me. Can I get her attention? If I get her attention, will she be interested in me? So in that, he picks you. He decides that he wants to approach you. And then you take a look at him, whatever your attraction or whatever it is, you say, oh, yes, he's good enough based off of what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. I accept his advance on me.
I see what you're saying. Okay, the men do the initial picking.
Yes, men do the picking.
I see what you're saying in that way.
I actually want to circle back to the question about how's that working out for us.
Okay.
When you say that, elaborate. So when you say how's working out, how is that working out for y'all? I think that takes on a tone like it's not working out for just women. I think if we think about the actual dating scene and the actual marriage rate, particularly in the black community, I think that both sides are, quote unquote, suffering or not getting married. And if we really were to be honest about who probably benefits the most from marriage, particularly in the black community, I would not assume that I think men benefit more from marriage than women.
You think men benefit from marriage?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna address the first part that you asked. Because I couldn't disagree with you more. So the first part of it is, how is that working out for you ladies? Well, there's more single women out here available than there are single men, right? You don't agree with that?
I agree.
I think it's pretty.
You agree?
I think it's pretty similar. I mean, if you were to look at I think that's the illusion that you're getting, right? Because there are so many, when you go places and things like that, there seems to be so many women to men. But as far as having access to I honestly think women have more access to men because, to your point, men are picking us. So I think that in a week, how many men probably try to approach you?
Okay, so when we're talking about a man, so yes, men will approach you, and women, you all don't understand that men put you in one or two categories. This was on my last podcast. I said this. Men put women in one or two categories. When we first meet you, we either looking at you, is she girlfriend, wifey material, or is she recreational material?
But I just think it depends on the type of woman you are, because
everything can always depend.
Yeah, because I'm not allowing myself to be recreation for anyone. That's fine if you see me as recreation, but I'm going to know that that's how you see me, and I'm not going to entertain it.
But that goes to my point, Nicole. You either accept or you decline how he comes to you. But let's stick with what you're asking me. Mm-hmm. I'm asking, how is that working out for you ladies? So just because a man wants to talk to you and he wants to take you out on a date and all those things, I understand your women, y'all get that. Y'all can pick. I mean, y'all have options in terms of men approaching you and wanting to date you. But in terms of keeping a man and a man marrying you, that's not working out for you all.
I have not had problems keeping a man. I'm gonna keep that real.
agree.
Like, I'm not married, but nobody's ever left me. Any man I've ever dated, I left
That's
him.
part of you not keeping a man. Whether
Oh, because you don't get married?
You're not with a man right now. You're not with a man that you can call your own, and he's not marrying you, and you're not doing life with a man, and y'all are not raising a family. Am I wrong?
Well, I'm past the raising a family stage. I'm past that stage. Like, I'm not.
What do you mean you passed that stage?
Yeah, I'm not trying to have kids.
Well,
It's over.
okay, but you have a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm past that stage. My son
Okay.
is grown.
Did you marry the father?
I didn't want to. He proposed to me.
Oh, see, there we go.
And I did not want to marry him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's this
Okay.
narrative that we just have to accept who's picking us. No, we don't.
Well, one, you should pick better.
That's
That
You
part.
should accept better. You should accept who
That
you're
part.
going to do life with or who you're going to procreate with better.
absolutely. And I think, like, so for this generation, that's why I love for these young women. I think, like, just knowing that you're only 22 and hearing, like, your self-awareness and things like that is phenomenal. And I think that part of that is a lot of the social media stuff and more access to education and what you should be looking for in a partner. To your point, it's not one size fits all, but it does give you more information to make more informed decisions. When I was 20 years old, I had no clue on what to look for in a man. And I had a father. I was raised in a two-parent home, but I still I knew who my dad was. But when you're dating, you're not like, oh, I'm just gonna go find my dad at 20, right? As you mature,
I mean,
you might start, realizing that that's the type of person that you want. But
Yeah.
I agree with you that women should choose better. And I think a lot of the tension that you're getting right now in the dating scene is that a lot of women do want better. And there is not a large enough selection of men that are actually better. And so men will say, do better, do better. Well, if my dad met you, you wouldn't be the definition of better.
Yeah.
And I think there's a delusion that a lot of men
And
have.
I'm so glad you said that because that's one of the things that I focus on that I talk to women about. If your dad had chose this man, would you have procreated with him? Probably not, right? If your dad had picked him,
Knows her.
or not picked him, if your dad had vetted this man, if you had brought this gentleman that you were trying to engage with, and he met your father, would your father have approved of him?
Not at all.
I think I'll speak because again, my son's grown now, but like at the time, my dad did like my son's dad. I just knew things he didn't, if that makes sense. Like my dad actually wanted me to get back with him, but he didn't know the things that I knew. That makes sense? Like, so my son's dad was a very good representative. Like he had a career. It wasn't like he was a bum or anything like that. So my dad was not opposed to him.
So this is why I also say, so I'm not beating you women up. I'm not beating you up. I don't want to beat ladies up. But what I want y'all to understand and realize is you not informing your dad. Your dad didn't have all of the information to tell you, hey, baby girl, my daughter, darling, this man is not the right man for you. Like, think twice about getting seriously involved with this man.
But let's just, I agree.
Wait a minute,
with
but what
you.
you say?
I
Oh,
agree
okay,
with you.
okay.
I 100% agree with you, but I mean, I have plenty of male friends and men who have daughters and things like that, and they're not fully comfortable with those conversations, and a lot of them are not actually good. A lot of, like, I've asked men, how many of your friends are the caliber of men that you would be okay with your daughter marrying? You know how often they say like one of their friends.
Well,
right?
that's a conversation. That's a
so-
conversation I'll have with guys when I have guys on the show and we talk about that.
Yeah, so I think fathers should be having those conversations, but I'm not really sure how many fathers are equipped to have those conversations with their daughters because they're not comfortable with that. They don't have that level of transparency and vulnerability with the communication may not be there. They're not comfortable with talking to their, men, that's their little princess. So they really don't want them dating, period. So a lot of men, they say that, but they're not doing it. They're not, I mean, my experience, I have a great dad, but he was not telling me who to choose in a partner. Wasn't.
Yeah, okay, I get that, but it also comes with a level of allowing you your space. But you had the opportunity to say, Dad, like this. Okay, let me tell you about this man, right? I want you to meet him, and I'm telling you everything that I know about him. Will you take a look at him, and will you sit with him? Will you talk with him? Will you will you engage with him? And as a man to man, can you tell me, should I be engaged with this man or not? See, that would make your father more comfortable, and he would have
So I want to use you because you're so young. Do you think that is that in a situation like that, would you want your father to come to you, or would you want how would you?
See, my dad is different.
Okay.
So you mentioned social media. Social media did not teach me any of the stuff I know. In fact, I think it does the opposite for me personally. Everyone's different, but my dad is the reason why I think the way I think when it does come to men. Because we may have had different relationships with our fathers, but it's like my dad, I can go to him when it comes to stuff like that. And when it comes to dating, he has taught me, this is what you need to be expecting. This is like, my dad has put me on game. I can say, oh yeah, I've had male friends to put me on game, which I have. But it's like, it's not about, it's something different. My father puts me on game. It's like, it's real, raw, makes me uncomfortable, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you about your dad. Is your dad married or
My parents are married.
Okay, so what type of man, would you say your dad had game when he was young?
When he was, when he was a teenager,
yeah, he had game. He got a mother.
My parents got married when they were like 18, 19.
Yeah, so he had game.
I don't know. My experience was different. My parents been married forever too, but my dad couldn't put me on game because he didn't know about game.
Really? Oh yeah, my dad.
He just was like, it's the older generation. You got to think, and that my dad is 80, right? And so I don't know if there was as much game back then as there is. This is a newer, all this game is
different type of game.
This is
it's a different type of game.
It's a different people weren't playing games when my dad was.
Well, we say game. Well, we know it's not a real game because we've been saying stuff like that for a long time. It's a game. Yeah. Well, I mean, and you have to treat it though. There's rules. So when we say game, there's rules to it. There's a way to go about it. There's a way you move. There's a way you play things. The way you act. So you treat it like a game. And the goal is to win. Get to the end, get to the finish line and win. And when we're talking about relationship, what is the end goal in getting into a relationship?
For me, it would be marriage. Yeah.
What's the end goal for you?
A marriage.
Yeah.
To the right person.
Well, okay,
sure?
so that goes without saying. It should be to the right person for everybody.
Yeah.
So the fact that you got to put that in, you got to add that in there, it should already be there. Otherwise, you don't win. And that's the issue that we're having is we have boys not being raised properly. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to address it to what it is. In our community, we have too many young boys coming from single mother homes, right? And women can say, well, that's because the fathers are not there. There's a lot of different factors of why the fathers are not there. But we're not going to run past the fact that a lot of these things are caused by the women, okay? Again, I'm not trying to beat them up, but this is coming from the women, right? Raising these single boys. And you're raising these boys to be the very men that y'all are not attracted to, that y'all don't even want to be with, right? And then you're treating, and then the girls are not seeing the blueprint of what's about, you're different. Right now, it's sad to say that you are a unicorn in this space that we're in right now. By the grace of the Lord. You can say that louder. But it is. So my daughter is that too, 21 years old. My daughter's I put my daughter on game. Now, my daughter may not listen to every single thing that I say to her.
I'm telling you.
But I put her up on game.
But it doesn't, for me, it didn't, when my dad was telling me stuff, it didn't hit until I was actually experiencing those things. And it's I've never introduced a man to my father because I know no man, you have to be at least close to being my husband in order to meet that man. Because my dad, he has these, even though, yeah, I'm his baby girl, like he said, no one's good for my daughter, but at the same time, it's he can tell. It's not on no. It's something about your spirit that my father can sense that it's nah. Yeah. So that's why I don't even, because if I can sense your spirit, I know my dad can sense it.
See.
So can I ask you a question?
Hold on, let me say this. I'm gonna let you do it. But see, this is prime example of what my vision is with this podcast. Mm-hmm. That women will get that same understanding that you have. Because what we're hearing is all of these standards and all these qualifications that these men have to have before these women say, oh, I'll be involved in stuff with him. But you said a key thing that you don't hear a lot of women say. His spirit. What kind of man is he?
Yeah.
Who is he inside?
Yeah.
Forget about how much money he makes, how tall he is, and all this other superficial stuff. Yeah. Before you can even get to that point, you should say, okay, what kind of character is this man? Mm-hmm. Will my dad approve of this man?
Yeah.
Will my uncle, my brother, will some other male figure in my life approve of this very man that has approached me, that is wanting to date me?
Yeah. And I know, so it's like, I know so many women who, you know, they want to say, oh, he played me. But it's like, when you genuinely, you're talking to someone and you're having those conversations, getting to know the person, take out the sex. And you're sitting down talking to someone for hours, it's hard for them to, how do I put this? Like, don't get me wrong, people can pretend to be somebody.
Yeah.
But when you're just talking to someone, say you only have a conversation with someone for, say it's about a month, and y'all just go on dates just talking, there's no way he cannot slip.
Exactly.
He's going to slip.
He's going to slip.
I've seen it. Or say when it comes to social media, I've talked to men, oh, he's cute, he's nice, whatever. And then you see posts on social media and he's posting all of his, what's the word everyone, red flags. He's posting all of his red flags. So it's like, I think a lot of times, you know, we like to say men are playing us. I can honestly say I've been there. I played myself. Like a lot of times we play ourselves because it's like men, they can make it very obvious who they are. And I've talked to men who've even admitted who they are. Yeah. I don't want to get married. Yeah. I don't want to be in a relationship. I really want to have fun. They will let you know. Yeah. They just want to have fun.
And it's just up for you to believe them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So, and then a lot of times.
And not only just believe them, it's what are you going to accept?
What are you going to, yeah. And a lot of times women,
that's what I'm saying. When you believe them, then
when
you believe them, you're going to move accordingly, right? So a lot of times they say things or we may not listen or whatever, but when people tell you who they are or show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them, yeah. Instead of trying to.
So what I was going to ask you is, you said that like when you are talking to someone and you know their spirit isn't right or your dad isn't going to fill them or whatever, and that's why you're not introducing them. Do you keep them around?
The ones that I have, no, I had to let go because it's like after I'm someone where I can try to fight. Like, oh, this is gonna work. But it's one thing about me. It's like I lose sleep. Like I have a very sensitive spirit. I lose sleep. If I'm trying to keep them, there's been a couple of them where I'm like, oh no, this gonna work out. Next thing you know, I can't sleep. I'm stressing. I'm overthinking, and it's like not working. But it's like as soon as I let go, I'm sleeping like a baby. Yeah. So everyone's different, but that's just how I am personally.
So that's interesting that you say that because I feel like this generation, it's a good thing and a bad thing. I was telling my niece this, y'all are more like, y'all are kind of intolerant of like, and that's not a bad thing, but like, you've been in a 2-year relationship, so that's good for someone 22, because most people who are your age like have not even been in a long relationship.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you give patience or grace to people at all? Or
yeah.
Okay. Like, so it's just more once you know it's not right.
I've dated men, they told me they've had a pass. And it's like that other women would be like, no, honey, no. But it's like, that's your past. And I see who you are now, so I'm cool with it. But the reasons why we didn't work out were because of certain things that they are now that just I wasn't going to be okay with. And it wasn't the money. I've never asked a man how much money he make. I don't give a damn. But it was just like seeing how he acts, his inconsistency. And like seeing you going 4 or 5 days without talking to me and then popping back up, like stuff like that. It was reasons as to why I did stop talking to men. And it had nothing to do with like their past. So.
Yeah. I'm impressed with that. I mean, again, at 22, but so I'm impressed, like, because you don't hear it a lot, but it's no surprise to me because you're saying how involved your dad was with you.
Still is.
Your parents are still homies. I love it. And that the fact that your parents are still together and they got together at 18?
18, and they're in their late 30s, my parents.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. They had you when you was 10? I mean, when they was 10?
They were 15 and 16 when they had me.
Okay, okay. Young parents. But okay, were their parents involved in their lives?
Yes, my father had his mom and dad. They're still married, been married, I think almost 40 years, if not that. And then my mom She just had my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your mom was raised by your grandmother?
By my
By her
grandmother.
grandmother?
By her mom.
Oh,
A single parent.
Single parent.
okay, okay, okay. All right.
Thank you.
But see, here's what I want to point out to people. If you look at it, your dad came from a 2-parent household, which the father is the key. Y'all do understand that. The man is the key to the success of a family.
Can understand that.
You understand it? You understand what I'm saying?
You'd have to elaborate. on
Okay.
it, but yeah.
If a family is going to be successful in growing in terms of what's deemed to be a solid family, the man being the head and being there and involved, he is the key.
Who's actually capable of leading, though? I mean, because there are 2-parent households where the man, yeah, he is whatever, but say he's abusive, say he's these things.
Yeah, but if he's abusive, then it's not going to be successful. So I'm not talking about the negative stuff. I'm talking about see, your dad came from a 2-parent household.
Correct.
Right? So he saw that. That's what he came into. So when he picked your mother, there were some things about her that he already said, you know what? My dad taught me. I watched my mom. I watched how my mom moved and operate. So he says, that's the kind of woman that I want to be my wife. Your mother fit that.
Yeah, but the reason why my parents got married, because my mom was like, if I get pregnant again, we're getting married. And my dad was like, okay.
I was gonna say your parents were so young.
Yeah,
like, that's how I was
it's so
thinking,
different, but I do
probably-
understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. I promise you. I
You
do.
kind of messed me up. You kind of messed my whole thing
did the
up.
right
Sorry,
thing,
but-
though.
He
I
did
remember
do the-
your dad did the right
Yes,
thing, and
my
that's
dad-
so
yeah,
rare.
because
That's so
but
rare
my grandmother
nowadays
and
where
stuff,
men
yeah.
are okay and women are okay. I mean, I can even say myself, like I got pregnant young, and I did not want to marry my son's dad, so I
Yeah.
didn't. And that is good that they made the best out of it, you know. And obviously they still.
But see,
together,
for
so.
me, even what you just said, like, what I can't understand, and I come from a single mother home, right? I knew who my dad was, but my dad lived in North Carolina, and I was born and raised here in Atlanta, right? So my mom moved here when she was pregnant with me. She left, and I'm the youngest of 3 boys.
Oh wow.
So, but my mom raised me. She didn't get to raise my 2 brothers. So I come from a single mother home. But the difference is what my mom had, the best thing my mom could have done was she realized she couldn't raise me to become a man. So my mom got me around street dudes in our neighborhoods. When I say street dudes, I ain't talking about today's street dudes. And I'm talking about the men who, yes, they were hustlers. They ran the numbers. They did all the stuff. But the things that they were doing was to create, resources for the families. And see, these men, they could have had wives, but they made sure that the single mothers who were around, that their children, that their kids were, like, they took all of us. Like, I remember them buying us big wheels. Like, all the kids, we had big wheels. But my mom got me around these guys, and so the men took all the boys, and they made sure that we was always around them. So I got to see how men operate and how they think and how they move. Like, one of the guys even told me, he gave me this tip. He says, like, he when he had men around him, he knew who were the alphas and who were the betas. Now, he was the top guy everybody respected this man, right? But he would tell certain guys, hey, go to the store for me. I want y'all ladies to hear this, because this is how I was raised. He would say to the one guy, go to the store for me. You hear how I said it?
Okay.
Y'all hear how I said it?
I heard
Hey,
it.
go to the store for me, right? And if that guy went to the store for him, that was a guy he didn't respect.
Okay.
He was a beta to him. Now, if it was a group of guys and he saw they were all like manly men, they were alphas, he would say something like, hey, will somebody run to the store for me? Give them the choice to do it, right? And what he told me is, if a man ever tell you to go do something for him, that man don't respect you, so you don't do that. So that's game, right? That's manhood. He taught me manhood. Okay. So these are traits and things. So my mom got me around these men. And the reason why I'm telling y'all this is because today's women, from even my mother's generation up until now, they're not getting their boys around men. They're not finding necessary. I shouldn't say they don't. For the most part, you don't see that happening, especially in our community. They're not getting them around the manly man. You know, here in the. I'm
But
not
I
going
mean-
to.
It is Atlanta. I was gonna say it's Atlanta. So
Yeah, it's Atlanta. So
It would
we
be
know
a
what that is. I'm not
man,
going to go
but-
there. We're not going to go there.
But
You know.
I'm new to Atlanta, and I'm from Ohio, and I wouldn't say that we're not. Like my son's dad was in his life. My son plays sports. He had coaches and all of those things. My son probably is more masculine than a lot of the young boys nowadays. But I lost my train of thought.
no, you're good. Yeah.
I don't think men are stepping up in that way anymore, is what I'm saying. If you think about even the narratives where a lot of men are like, I don't want to be stepdad, I don't want, like, it's just even in the way we raise our kids now, it's very like isolated. Like back in the day, it was like a village, right? Like that was the nature, but we don't have that community anymore.
Yeah.
Like even if women wanted that, men are not really stepping up to do that.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, because you mentioned stepdads. No man wants to be a stepdad.
Well, I don't think that's true. I know several men who are. So it's not true. I'm adopted, and my father
Here we go.
raised 4
Listen
kids
to
that
what I'm
weren't
saying,
his.
Nicole. Listen to what I'm saying. Yes, we all gonna know someone who's a stepdad.
But no, I know multiple. I don't know just 1 or 2.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. I want you to listen to understand what I'm saying. Don't listen to respond to what I'm saying.
Let's hear it.
Men don't go into situations saying, I want to be a stepdad. Now, what he'll go into is look at it and say, okay, how much do I want to be involved with this woman? How do I feel about this woman? How is she going to enhance my life, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get all those factors, it's all about the woman. Now, if she has children, he'll look at it and say, you know what? I really want to be with this woman. Okay, she has children. I'll take on the children too as well. But he's not going in there saying, ooh, I'm going to get with her because I want to be a stepdad.
Ooh, sweet mama.
Ooh, sweet.
And
She's got kids.
women
Ain't
aren't
no-
doing that either, though.
See, okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's jumping up for joy to be a step parent, but I don't think people were jumping up to take care of people's kids when they were. That's
different. No, what I'm telling you is the men. They saw that the kids in the neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. These are kids. Like we're gonna help raise these kids. Now they're not coming in to be stepfathers.
But do you even think that happens anymore?
Yeah, I think it does.
Like neighborhood people are stepping in and
yes,
helping
but
out?
the issue that we have in our community is so we got so many people, especially women, are saying, oh no, ain't nobody gonna tell my son or my kid or my daughter or anything. I'm the it, right? It's me and this and this and that. And that's a selfish mentality.
I agree with that.
Because you can have these boys, because again, we're not getting into it, but this is Atlanta. You would have more boys who would have got around men, and they would have emulated these very men. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
So again, there's a part where I can address men, like men stepping up to the plate, but I do know a lot of men that I don't know these men personally, but when I talk to men, and we say, well, okay, what are we not doing as men in these communities? And then they'll tell you, well, why would I want to go in there and fight with these women just to make sure that their boys are good? Why would I want to fight with them? See, the issue comes down to is, men, we don't want to fight with y'all. The last thing we want to do is fight with the very women that we want to be with. And that's the issue in our community is these women they're coming off so masculine, so strong, so independent that a man can't even come in and give you some wisdom, can't even give you some good advice, can't even help you rear those children because it's contention. We're fighting because these women want to do it themselves. And that's why I go back to, how is that working out for you women? It ain't working out for you. Because if it was, we would have more marriages, we would have more black families striving at two household parents, and then we would have better children. The stats show that the worst product of children come from single mothers.
Statistically speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm not beating up women. It's just not working for you all.
I think it's so that statistic is a little. So I personally am an advocate for two-parent homes, even though I raised my son as a single mother, right? I 100% agree that children are better off in two-parent homes. But that the narrative as far as like, a lot of that is associated with poverty, right? More women who are single parents, their kids are gonna end up in poverty. But I think that a lot of the single parents who are raising kids where they're raising them in good environments, a lot of those kids are faring off okay.
No, the stats covered all economic background. It was single women.
But I mean, single women are more likely to be, a single mother is going to be more likely to be in poverty.
Well, that part is true, but again, when the stats show that where these men and women who are in prison, what kind of household did they come from? It was a single mother household. And when they looked at it, okay, were all these women in poverty? No, because some of these children came from what they would say was an affluent neighborhood.
In prison?
And they're in prison. Because it doesn't matter your economic status. If the boy is not getting raised by men, he has no discipline. They go out and do whatever they want to do. The mother can't control them. And then they get arrested and then they end up in prison.
Well, I want to use this as an opportunity to shout out black men, because I find that there are a lot of black men, so even if it's not a two-parent home, who are stepping up and are being fathers in their kids' lives. Like of all my friends, I have several friends that are single moms, like at least 70% of them, the dad was in that child's life and was actively being a father. So I agree that the idea is a two-parent home, but a lot of black men are stepping up in their kids' lives.
Yeah. But if you listen to the narrative, see, I don't even really buy into all these women saying there's no good men out here. I'm tired of hearing it.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, because it's not true. And it's like the whole there's no good men, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of good men. Yeah. And it's like I said, once the men I chose to entertain started changing, that's when I started dating good men. And I think what I don't like is that we are getting so used to the idea that relationships are supposed to be stressful. So when you finally find a good man, that it's like a shocker. Yeah. Like that's the part that irritates me, because there's good men everywhere, and the fact that we get shocked or surprised or we can't trust when there is a good man is unfortunate. But there's definitely good men.
Yeah.
I think there's good men, but I think that like how you mentioned, a lot of men don't want to be married. So a guy, we can have great. I don't think I've had bad dating experience, but I think culturally, not even just in the black people community, more and more people are moving away from the idea of marriage.
So men are not against marriage. Men actually want to be married. But to go back to your second part, as a great segue, is marriage doesn't benefit men. You said you believe that you said you feel that men benefit more from marriage.
It's not a feeling.
Well, that's what you said.
Well, statistically
we can talk about stacks. Yeah, if you're
okay,
a
so tell me.
fact-driven individual, right?
So then tell me what
married.
It is.
You know who reports being the least happy by marital status or by like
dating relationship status?
Yeah, by relationship status.
Single men.
Married women.
Married. That's no surprise, because women they can't be pleased.
Okay.
You can't make them happy.
You know who reports to be the most happy?
Who? Married men?
Married men.
Okay.
You know married men live longer. Married men earn higher incomes. Married men are healthier. Men benefit from marriage more than women do. And I'm not even religious, but we even take it back biblically. Well, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right?
Y'all women love
and there's a reason, but there's a reason for that. Any good woman knows the value that she has added to a man's life.
I find it very interesting how y'all women like to go to that, but y'all hate the word submission.
I don't hate the word
you may not, but women will go around here. Y'all can quote the Bible on that. When a man finds a woman, he finds a good thing. But when God said, "Wives, submit to your husbands," when men are talking about women, y'all need to submit, and you need to be submissive before you even become a wife. It's an uproar. I ain't submitting to him. It's got to be the right man. He got to be this. He got to look like this and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, wait a minute,
It should
that ain't what it says.
absolutely be the right man. I don't think women should just be submitting to anyone.
The problem is, though, is you're not picking the right man. You're not accepting the right man. You guys are basing it off of all these qualifications and this long list of things that this man's got to meet. He's a damn unicorn. And y'all are saying, oh, well, he didn't meet item number 8 on my list, so he is not the right man. Or because he checked number 14 on your list, ooh, girl, he is. And then you get with him and he's got 5 different baby mamas, and then you wonder why this relationship didn't work.
I don't think people are dating like that anymore. And you could probably give a little more insight. Like your friend group, like, are they willing to date like Ray Ray and Pookie?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have very many friends, but the ones that I do, I mean, actually, I do know someone who she's openly admitted she likes the hood dudes.
Okay.
See?
Hey, she's honest about it, but I've let her know.
Yeah.
I've let her know. All right, you want that? You just get ready for it. And yeah, she's currently still single.
These are the women that are loud right now. These are the women that get on podcasts or get on Instagram and all this stuff, and they talk bad about men because what they're doing is they're talking about the men that they are involved with, and so this narrative is going around that there's no good men, and then the so-called good men, we have to either be intimidated by women, or we want to control women. There's always something negative. Yeah,
they love to go for that.
Instead of saying, no, that's a good man.
He's
just a man. He's disciplined. He's a man about order, and he is a man that can lead me in the direction that I need to go.
Do you feel that there are a large percent of men that meet that?
Absolutely.
You do? Okay.
I do.
And
I'm one of them.
And when it comes to, I know people might get mad at me, but like women have so much power. And it's like, I think we don't understand how much power we have. So when we say that men are a certain way, we're not understanding that we have that ability to control that, if that makes sense. So when we say, like men never want to marry, when we say things like that, or men just want to use us, it's only because we're allowing it. Like, that's one thing I'm understanding. Women have so much power. Like, and I think... Are y'all catching this? She putting down game, y'all. I hope y'all catching this. Women have so much power. I hate that social media has tried to make it seem like women are just so weak and that we can't control anything and it's always the men who control. No. Women are the most powerful beings, and we don't understand that a lot of these men act this way because we allow it. Let's say there was men who they do all these things, but let's say every woman that they talk to either require a relationship or marriage. That man would have no choice but to marry some damn body, because no one...
But it would have to be a collective, because I agree with you. I think too many women are having sex with men. People debate me about this. I don't think women should have sex with men that have not committed to them. In a relationship, at least.
That makes sense,
and I think, not saying marriage,
I agree
whatever.
with that.
Yeah.
But if we have not committed to a relationship, now this is not something I knew at 22, right? But I will tell young women, if a man is not committed to be in a relationship with you, you should not be having sex with him, period. And I think if more women operated from that space, you would have more marriages, but because so many women are not, and there's this culture of like, oh, I can have sex with whoever I want.
Feminism.
Men are, they're hunters, right? Like, if they have they're gonna be like, okay, well, she's too difficult. I'm gonna go over here to Tina because she's gonna give me some sex, and I'm not gonna have to put that much effort in.
Yeah, because men.
So it's going to have to be a collective thing. But you're right.
I agree with you, ladies, because ultimately, men, we move. We're very simple creatures.
Very.
We move what's going to allow us to get what we want, right? Now, we don't mind a little bit of a challenge, right? Challenge is actually good. I know some people say chase. I don't think a man should chase a woman.
Yeah, we're not dogs.
Yeah, we're not animals. And if you're chasing something, that means that thing is running away from you. Why in the hell would I want to chase you? I'm not chasing a woman, right? Now, if it's a challenge getting with you, if you're saying, hey, before we lay down in the bed, like there's some things you got to meet. I'm like, okay, I can respect that woman. versus the other woman that's saying, "Ooh, you look good. You make good money, or you got a nice car and stuff like this. I'm gonna make you my man. Come and get this." Like I'm like, no, I'll come and get it, but I ain't staying with
I'll
you.
get it, but I'll take it and
Yeah.
take
I'll
out.
come and get it.
She said,
You
take
best
out.
believe I'll come and get it, but I ain't staying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely agree though. There's a lot of power that we have, but I do think it's going to take more women because I do think
Yeah.
that more men would get married and see the value in marriage if there was higher standards in terms of how they needed to pursue women and show up in relationships.
Yeah, but
Yes.
that's why modern day feminism pisses me off because it's like we're free
I got
and
sex with
sleep
whoever I
around.
want. It's my
and,
vagina.
You know, we can,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna let men control us. And you know, we're free, but we're gonna sleep with men. We're gonna give them exactly what they want.
And I'm powerful because of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think
I am
because
woman.
of
Hear
that-
me roar.
Hear me roar, man, as I lift my shirt up and you see
Yeah.
my boobs, and it's ridiculous. And then when it comes, yeah,
100% agree.
I'm gonna kill my baby for you, even though these men don't even. It's like, oh, you know, I don't want
Yeah.
the baby anyway, you know. So it's
dumbest thing
It's
ever.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think feminism is the reason why we do have such a trend of yes, women sleeping around and men because women they sleeping around. Bet we don't gotta
Right.
marry nobody.
We don't got married. We
Why
don't
would
even
I-
got to commit it.
Why
Don't
would-
even got to commit.
Don't you have to?
Man, we're like this. Why would I buy the cow when I get the milk for free?
Yep.
When I'm already getting the milk, why would I buy that cow? Not calling no woman a cow. I ain't calling y'all cows.
Not calling you cat.
But if you let me not.
We can use say a Rolls Royce. Say men know how much that Rolls Royce costs.
Yeah.
But say we don't know how much that Rolls Royce costs. Say it's $800,000. And we're like, oh yeah, it's
Oh, you can test drive this whenever you want.
$250,000. Oh, for real, $250,000. Even though y'all not gonna say, oh no, that's an $800,000 Rolls
Right.
Royce. You're like, bet you selling it for $250? Like
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Yep.
Yes.
If we're not gonna use cows, let's use a Rolls Royce.
Okay, that's good. I like that. I'm gonna have to take that.
100%.
Okay. So, ladies, and we're gonna wrap this one up here. This has been a great conversation, though, and I hope. Are you enjoying it, Nicole?
Yes.
Trinity, you
Yeah.
enjoying it? Oh, well, I'm enjoying it too. So at this stage of the show, I'm going to do what I always do. This is your favorite part, Nicole. But I'm going to start with Trinity, right? So Trinity, this is your opportunity to ask me a question that you've always wanted to ask a guy, or if you just got a question in general that you want to get a straightforward answer.
I don't know. Lord. Let me rub. My question would be, because a lot of you guys, say you don't want the masculine woman, you don't want the, things like that. So what type of woman would you, or what type of women do men usually want as far as wanting to be in that safe space?
Yeah. A woman that's always operates in her femininity is what men go after, right? Our masculine traits are always attracted to femininity, right? Now, when women can be ambitious and you can have goals and you can go out and achieve, get all the education and stuff you want. Men, we're not knocking that. That's not what we're attracted to. Right? So what we're attracted to is femininity. Is she going to be soft when she deals with me? Like men, we melt when a woman comes to us softly. What's happening is women are coming to us to like other men. And if you've ever seen men, I could talk to my production guys right here. They're all guys right here right now, right? But if I went to them, hey man, you should be doing this and doing that. You ain't do this, man. Why you do that? You know how that man is going to react to me? How would you react to me? How would you react back to that? Yeah, we probably going to fight. That's what he said. We're probably going to fight. So it's very confrontational.
Yeah.
So the last thing we want is that from a woman. We want y'all to come to us softly. Ladies, I want y'all to understand this. You'll get a man to do whatever it is that you want him to do with a whole bunch of femininity, softness. If you think I'm lying, I can't wait to the comments on this. Guys, if y'all agree with me, I want y'all to say amen. If you disagree with me, say hell no.
But
With
and
the
soft
comment.
doesn't mean weak.
No, it doesn't mean weak.
But I think a lot of times when women do hear feminine, she got to be soft, she has to talk like this, she has to be so gentle. But I think if we like make it seem okay, like she's strong.
Like I've got
you
nothing
can still
but
be strong.
I've
and
got
feminine.
nothing but feminine energy from you. You're not. Oh, I'm so glad
And I
to
didn't
be
have
here.
to talk like this in order
Yes.
for you to hear me.
Yeah, no, but you're still feminine.
Yeah.
Right? You're not so aggressive and bobbing your head and just all that confrontational stuff. No man wants that. It's such a turnoff.
Mm-hmm.
Such a turnoff. So did I answer your question?
I did.
Okay. Nicole.
What responsibility do you think that men play in the current or the modern challenges in dating right now?
What responsibility do I think that
Women have, yeah. Like, what responsibility, what part do you think that they play?
women or men?
Men.
Men. For men, there's no such thing as modern. We've been the same. Our role has always been the same. Protect, provide, guide. Make sure the family is good. That has not changed since even today. That has not changed.
You mean like the expected role or the role that's actually being done?
Well, okay, I took that as the expected role. Are you saying what?
Yeah, how do you, so you think that a man's role is to protect, provide. Do you think that is still, do you think men have the capacity to do that now? Enough men have
Well,
the
they
capacity?
all the men.
Because we're saying, I just want to remind you that there's a lot of internet banter regarding that women should lower their salary requirements because the average man makes $40,000 a year. So in today's world, can a man provide for a full family on $40,000 a year?
Well, let's talk about what it really is. In this country, the man's average salary is like $52,000.
Okay.
The average woman's salary is $45,000. You can look that up. So this whole notion that the women are making way more money than men, that's not necessarily true. It can depend on the region. So I know a lot of people like to look. We're here in Atlanta. Now, there's a great deal of women here that make very good money. And we all understand that and realize that, right? This is a great place to be for women who have careers and make good money, right? But it's also a great place for men to make money. The problem, though, is you have less men that are available to these single women. We know. Do you understand what the ratio for one man and the women that are available here in Atlanta? So for me, for example, right? If I'm the ideal man, right? We've been hearing women saying, "Oh, he's got to be 6 feet." All right, I'm almost 6'4", right? He's got to have 6 figures. Okay, got that covered. He's got to have a 6-pack. I'm working on it, or 6 inches. Got you covered. Don't y'all edit that. No, but I'm playing around. But the seriousness, if I'm that ideal man in terms of what women are saying, these are the things that women are saying they want in their man, right? Then I'm saying, okay, I have damn near 20 plus women to choose from. So the ratio of women, I think the last number I saw, I gotta get this, but I think it was 27-1. 27 women. So think about this: 27 eligible, good-looking, successful black women for me to choose from. How many of those you think I'm gonna choose? Trinity, how many out of 27? How many you think I'm gonna choose?
I mean, if you can choose all 27.
I choose however many I can handle.
If you can choose all 27.
Yeah, if all 27,
So would you
I'm
say
saying
that's overall kind of the part that you think that men are playing because they don't offer sexual discipline or monogamy, so that's probably maybe the part that they're playing in it?
Yeah, well, monogamy is a westernized concept. That wasn't put down for men. That's population control. Okay? So women, they fed y'all that and y'all buying into that. And I understand,
As far as monogamy?
Monogamy. Who is monogamy designed for?
For two people who want to get married and stay together. I'm confused
Yeah,
at that
so-
part because what are you talking?
Okay.
So why is it just a Western? Because it's like
The rest of the world don't.
I only hear black people say that,
I
which
do
is so
too.
crazy. Like
It's the only time
you
I
don't
see
hear
it, yeah.
Asian men saying. You don't hear Latina men saying.
Have
so
you been
it's
to
like,
Asia?
I have.
Have you been to?
I
Have
just
you lived
was
in
in
Asia?
Asia. I was there for a month.
Okay. Have you talked to Asian men?
Yeah. Men from Thailand, men from
And they say,
like
and
there's
if you ask them how many women they would like to be involved with, what they say?
Oh, well, that's
Just
different.
one?
Okay, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
every man has a dream of having a bunch of
Yeah,
women, but
who
as far as
doesn't?
actually,
actually doing it
Marrying?
like, and seeing like
No, see,
the
I
reality
didn't say
is
marry.
a more
talking
sexually
about
disciplined
sticking it-
man.
We didn't say you. So monogamous is not just exclusive to marriage. It can be. That's a decision that your two people make, right? But if you get down to it, you talk to a man and he says, you know what? Yeah, I can have my wife, but I don't want to make you a side chick, so I'm not trying to. I can have a side chick, I can have a party girl, right? But this is still my wife. That man is going to go that 8 out of 10. He's going to go on that option.
So y'all, he answered my question. That's the
What?
part that men are playing in the current dating
No,
scene.
don't try to make that aside. No, what you ask? So, what you're asking? What role are the men currently playing?
Yeah, like how do
Or
you
what
feel like?
role they
Because there's a
should?
lot of ways I see that you feel like women are negatively impacting the marriage rate. So I'm saying, what role?
Well, they
or How
are.
do you feel
80
like? I know,
80%, okay.
Yeah, so I want you to talk about how you feel men are also playing a part in that, right? It's not just one. Nothing in life is one sided.
No, okay. So I think you're asking me how should the men be?
No, I'm specifically
are
asking
they?
how
Like,
you
how-
have a lot of ways that you feel like women are stopping marriage from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So what things do you think that men are doing to contribute to there being
Okay,
a 30% marriage rate in the black community?
Okay, yeah. Not being honest. This whole line going around not being genuine with women. See, I believe as a man, I should give you as a woman the option to choose whether you're gonna accept what I'm offering or not. Right? Don't take away that choice, that option. Right? So before these men get into these relationships or get into these marriages, because you didn't start off from the rip being honest. So this woman made a life decision based off of the lie that you told. So if you had been honest from the get-go, then you would have found the woman or women that will get with your program and all would be fine.
because they will. I've seen men when they are straight up honest. I just want sex. And women are okay with that.
Yeah, or
Okay, cool.
or they might say, hey, you know what? Yes, I want you as a wife, right? I want to do life with you. I want you to bear my children and all this kind of stuff. But from time to time, I want to be able to go out and be with someone else. Because it's not always about just sex, but it could be, hey, you know what? There's some things sexually that I want to have happen to me that I don't want to get from my wife. It could be something vulgar. It could be something nasty.
So
or-
I want to say that this is where I think the whole part of the gold digging nature that you have right now is directly correlated to that mindset. Because for a woman, what reason would we have? Like, what if you're not a provider? What reason would I have to be involved in a relationship with someone who wants to deal with multiple people and wants people to turn tricks for them? Because I can't. Like, what is in it for a woman? What benefits? We cook, we clean, we take care of children, we do all of those things. If you don't have resources and that's how you want to move, that means that the intimacy is there. It's going to lack, right? We're human, right? We are not going to be able to be intimate or feel intimate with someone who tells us, I mean, you can be honest with me and say, I'm going to go sleep around with other people and I'm only going to be with you, but that's going to affect my intimacy with you. That's going to affect the way that I feel towards you. So what is in it for a woman in that scenario if you're not a provider and you don't have resources? Why would we do that?
So As a man, I can't answer you what is in it for you as a woman. I can only just tell you that as a man, when you put that before your woman, that's why you have to decide, is that something you can accept or not. See, you want
But
me?
but I wanna know why
hold on. But
one
wait a
would
minute.
accept it.
I can't determine what you're willing to accept or not. I can't make that determination. As a man, I can only put it out to you. What you decide is okay with, that you're good with, that's what you decide. Now, if you're not good with it, you need to let them know. And y'all have that conversation. But as a man, I'm not here to tell you what is in it or benefit to you. Because I'm honestly saying, well, you're to get with my program. And not to say that I discredit you or I don't care about what but I want you got to follow my lead, get with my program. And if that doesn't work for you, then you're not the woman that I want to be in.
That's what you have going on right now, then, because women don't want to get with that program.
Men are not being honest with you, and women
don't
are
want
not
to get with that program.
Well, and then those are the women that are out here. They're finding themselves. These men are going to do what they want to do, and then you're wondering, well, why do these men? Y'all ask why they cheat. It's not that they're cheating. They told you. You just couldn't get with it. So unfortunately, you have to keep searching for that man that does that. The problem is you're having to sleep with multiple men to try to get to that one, and then you get used, and then nobody wants you.
Which is dangerous.
We don't have
Which
to.
is dangerous.
We don't have to sleep. No, you don't have to sleep with
Well,
these
that's what's
men,
happening.
And that's the problem.
I think he
because-
said a lot of women feel like they need to feel.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
don't-
heard women say I've heard women say, I got to sleep with him to see if I like him.
Yes,
Yes.
I've heard that too.
So
I've heard that
think
too.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be letting people test drive you. Like, if you tell me
I
that
agree.
you want to deal with multiple people, that doesn't align, then there's no reason for us to have sex.
Yeah.
That's why I commend men. All of the men
I like
I've
honesty,
dated,
though.
all of
Yeah.
the men I've dated have been honest, straightforward in the very beginning.
Well, good for
so.
them men, and good
That's
for that.
good.
Well, ladies, that brings us to the end of this particular podcast. I want to thank you guys, ladies, again for coming on. This has been great.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome back again. This was good.
You redeemed yourself, even though
Yes.
nothing was wrong.
Yeah, nothing was wrong, but you redeemed it. Hey, all my followers, people put in the chat and let Nicole know that she did
hush.
well or if she didn't. But please, y'all build her up, because she's a great lady. We talked offline after that. Tell people real quick what you think of me now versus when you first came on.
The same thing.
Well, I ain't changed. I ain't changed then. I ain't
He's
changed.
consistent, y'all. He's
Yeah,
consistent.
there you go. I'll take that. I'll take that. So I want to thank everyone again for tuning in. I'm looking forward for the next episode. As always, please subscribe. Leave those likes, those comments, your dislikes, whatever you want to say. However, it's all welcome. It's all good. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for supporting The Big Divide. Until the next episode, I'm your boy, DEVIdE. Take care.